This is Chef Anita and welcome to my kitchen. Actually, it's a beautiful evening. You can see right behind me in my very beautiful kitchen. So today, what are we making? By the way, I'm Chef Anita at WannaBee Chef. We're making mushrooms. These are sometimes called hen of the woods, maitake mushrooms, and they actually happen to be one of my favorite. So I'm gonna just show you what they come like huge bunches. Sometimes they're even larger than this, but look how pretty they are, aren't they? They almost like substitute meat, you know. You can almost, I've actually tricked people saying that this was chicken when I made it like fried chicken, but today we're not making it fried. I'm making a healthier version of four pepper mushroom. And I'll get to that, why it's four pepper mushroom. I'm making an Asian dish, and it's kind of spicy, so I hope you like spices. It's hot and it's spicy, and it's often, I find these often at Whole Foods or at Asian markets, but they're really, really delicious. And please try them to substitute any of your meats, especially chicken. So what I did is I gave it a very quick rinse. You really don't want to let this sit in water too much. They come pretty clean, so I just give them a really quick cool water rinse. And it's, you know, you can chop them the way you like, and I left them whole so that I could show you how I'm gonna chop them. But before I start chopping my mushrooms, I am gonna show you where I'm gonna get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I am gonna start chopping the garlic. I have these pretty big garlic pods. I love using fresh garlic. So just kind of bang it down, kind of give it a tough, you know, get a little tough with it, no problem, nothing will happen. And your skin literally pops out of the garlic. And that's how I clean out my garlic. Okay, at the end of this, my hands smell of garlic, and the trick is I wash them with a little bit of lemon juice, and voila. Actually, sometimes I save these garlic and onion skins from my stock, which I have a bag going in my freezer. But today, and here we go. So I have my garlic getting sliced. There we are. Here we go. So here's my garlic, nicely just kind of sliced. You can do it any which way you like. If you're not a fan of garlic, you might want to crush it further, but what you do is put a pinch of salt and keep running your knife over it. It will crush it, but I don't want crushed garlic for this, so I'm just gonna leave it like that sliced. I'm gonna keep it aside till we go and we get to making the recipe. So here we have our mushrooms. They're just different size bunches. You can kind of rip them apart this way. There we go. We don't really have to cut these because they're kind of really pretty, except if you have some large pieces, you can cut it just kind of this way apart. They're just so pretty, I think, you know, like this is a big stalk, and you don't, with this mushroom, you don't have to throw the stalk out because it's so tender. Now, if you're using shiitake mushrooms, there you would have to throw the stalk out. I actually don't throw the stalk. But here we go. So here's my mushroom that is pretty much big pieces, kind of torn up, just very casually. It's fun to rip it. You can have your kids do this with you. They'd enjoy ripping your mushrooms apart. There we go. Just gonna rip it apart. As you see, some of the bigger pieces I am cutting up with the knife, but you don't have to. You can even rip it with your hand. They're so tender that they come apart with your hand. There we go. So my mushrooms are all done and they're ready, all in the pan. I'm gonna put them back there. They were just rinsed, as you can see. I had rinsed these and I've just separated them. Then I have here my four peppers. I have a green bird's eye chili, and I have some red peppers, like red dried peppers. Here you go, I can show these to you, the dry red peppers. And what I'm gonna do, this is a mortar and pestle, and I'm gonna put it in here. So crush, just a rough crush. And this is a red peppercorn, and I've mixed them with some green peppercorns, okay? There we go, red and green peppercorns. So It's a 4 pepper. You know, just feel free to use peppers of your choice. And the spice level really is of your choice. So I'm just going to kind of give it a real rough chop. My green ones are not getting done in there because it might get too noisy. So I'm just going to give it a rough chop with my knife. There we go. And these are my other peppers. Very rough chop. You really are not powdering it. That's it. I have some lemon juice, which I'll get to later why. And I have a scallion, which again is going to be more like a garnish. There we go. Nice. I don't want it too thin. Put a little bit of oil. That's like 1 tablespoon of oil. And first throw in your garlic. So that was 3 pods of garlic. And I'm just going to dump it in, turn my stove up. I had my stove on a medium. I like to do that just in the essence of time. I'm gonna let the aroma of the garlic rise, and you're gonna really, of course, smell it in the kitchen right away. You don't really want to burn this garlic, so as you can see, it's a nice light color. I'll throw in the mushrooms, okay? At this point, my stove is on high, and I'm gonna let it be on a high because you don't want the mushrooms to steam. You really want them to kind of stir fry. In the meantime, what I'm going to show you is how I'm going to make this slurry of cornstarch and my vegan chicken broth. This is something I bought on Amazon, and I can add it to my link later down. It's an Orrington Farms broth base. It has no MSG, so that's great. So I'm going to start with my slurry, which is 1 and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. There we go. And a teaspoon of the broth, the vegan chicken broth. Okay? And all I'm going to do is just whisk it. If you're using vegetable broth, it's fine, but I'm just using water. Like I told you, I didn't make any vegetable broth, neither did I have any at home. So you can use water because you are using this broth base, and make this slurry with about, I'd say like a half cup of water. Okay? That's all. Just whisk it up together. That's it. There we go. My slurry is done. And my mushrooms in the meantime are cooking. As you guys can see, they're getting nice, and you see that? They're picking up some color. And that's what you want. Don't worry about anything browning up. See that? Okay. There we go. Nice color to the mushrooms. Let them cook down as they cook. And here I'm going to show you what else I have. I have some Chinese rice cooking wine. If you have some, great, or you can use vermouth. It will work. I have some sesame oil. And I have some rice vinegar. So that's what I'm going to add as we go along. My mushrooms are just, these cook really fast. It's amazing how fast they cook. You don't have to worry about too much time with this. Because you're doing it on a high heat. So no worries. At this point, I will season it with some salt. And the reason I chose to do mushrooms with the pepper, because mushrooms just kind of pick up a lot of flavor with whatever you cook. Yeah, my mushrooms are just about done. I'm going to tilt the pan to the camera so you see what they look like. There we go. The mushrooms are done. Now I'm going to add in, at this point, guys, everybody's going to start coughing in your house, so be careful. Just throw in your peppers like I did. The rest of your peppers. Okay. Now I'm going to add a little bit of water because the slurry will need some water to thicken. And the reason I add the water right away is because otherwise your entire house will start coughing. Okay, there we go. It needs a little bit more water. That was like about another cup of water. This would be a cup of water that I added in. I'm going to add a tablespoon of my rice vinegar. and a tablespoon of my rice wine, and like a teaspoon of the sesame oil. Sesame oil gives Asian food a real nice flavor, okay? And now, once my water here has come to a boil, I am gonna add at this point, if you like things with a little dash of sweetness, go ahead and add it. But I don't do that for this dish. But I'm gonna now add my slurry in, which is the water inside here is boiling. I'm gonna start adding all my slurry that I had made with the cornstarch and the vegan chicken broth. And perfect, voila. There we go. I'm gonna turn off my stove because this is done. It's perfect. You don't wanna overcook your slurry. Taste your salt. Perfect. I'm gonna season it with this scallions. And you know, for some, I think it's a little spicy. So like I told you, I would add a teaspoon of brown sugar or any sweetener of your choice. So I'm gonna put in a teaspoon of brown sugar, okay? That's it, just to kind of give it that sweet, spicy taste. So here is your 3-pepper mushroom, which is fantastic. It's ready. And yes, in the end, I usually like to give some flavor. I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon zest. So you have some nice lemon seasoning on top. That's it, just a dash of lemon zest. And guys, it's ready. How pretty is it? Come on, tell me, give me some likes. Did you like it? It has, here we go, look at that. So that's my 3-pepper mushroom, and it's, believe me, tastier than making chicken that way. Perfect. I tasted it, that little tad bit of sugar really helped bring out all the flavors, and it's perfect. And I would also add a little bit of lemon juice as we go along. And we're ready. So now if you taste it and you think you want more sugar or more salt, feel free to add that. That's really your individual taste. But here we go. You can use any kind of mushrooms for this. You can use, I would not recommend portobellos, but shiitake, even just regular white mushrooms would be good. Any mushroom of your choice would really work for this. So feel free to use a mushroom that you like. I highly recommend you try this because it's so easy and it goes so well with like a brown rice or a white rice of your choice, and it's a perfect dinner any evening for somebody who's a vegetarian or vegan and you have an Asian. And adjust your spice level. Mine was really spicy, guys, so I would really recommend you adjust your spice level. And please look us up. The link is down below, and look for WannaBee Chef. Bye.